In the quiet town of Nsukka, surrounded by red earth roads and green hills, lived the Okeke family. Mr. and Mrs. Okeke were known for their honesty, hard work, and deep love for their children. Though they were not wealthy, they believed strongly in education and a better future. They had two daughters, Adaeze, the first child, and Chioma, the younger one. Adaeze was brilliant, confident, and full of dreams. Chioma, on the other hand, was calm, patient, and very skillful with her hands. She loved creating things, beads, clothes, hairstyles, and often helped women in the village with small beauty services. When Adaeze passed her JAMB with excellent results, joy filled the Okeke household. It was a moment they had long prayed for. Not long after, Chioma also passed her exams and qualified for university admission. But reality struck hard. One evening, as the family sat together, Mr. Okeke cleared his throat. "My daughters," he began slowly, "you both have made us proud. But we do not have enough money to send both of you to the university at the same time." Silence fell like a heavy cloud. Mrs. Okeke wiped her eyes. "We have discussed it. Adaeze will go to the university first. Chioma, you will learn a skill. When we are able, we will also sponsor you." Chioma forced a smile. "It's okay, Mama. It's okay, Papa. I understand." Adaeze held her sister's hand tightly. "I promise, Chioma, I will make you proud. I will not waste this opportunity." And so, their paths began to separate. Adaeze's journey. Adaeze gained admission into a well-known university in Lagos. The city was everything she had imagined: fast, loud, bright, and full of life. At first, she focused on her studies. She attended lectures, read her books, and called home often. Her parents were proud, and Chioma always encouraged her. But everything began to change when she met a group of girls in her hostel: Zainab, Toke, and Sandra. They were different. They dressed in expensive clothes, carried the latest phones, and lived a lifestyle Adaeze could not understand. They hardly seemed worried about school or money. One evening, Sandra laughed as she saw Adaeze counting the little money her parents had sent. "Adaeze, you can't survive like this in Lagos," she said. "There are easier ways to live well." Adaeze frowned. "What do you mean?" Toke leaned closer. "We have connections. Men who take care of us. We go out, spend time with them, and they support us financially." Adaeze's heart raced. "That doesn't sound right." Zainab shrugged. "It's your choice. But think about it, no more struggling, no more lack. You can live like a queen." At first, Adaeze resisted. She remembered her parents' sacrifices, Chioma's smile, and her promise. But slowly, the pressure grew. She saw her friends enjoying luxury, fine restaurants, expensive gifts, and freedom from financial worries. Meanwhile, she struggled to buy textbooks and sometimes skipped meals. The temptation became too strong. One night, after much persuasion, Adaeze agreed to follow them. That single decision changed everything. The fall. At first, it seemed like a solution. Money came easily. Adaeze could afford anything she wanted. She sent money home and even lied about getting scholarships. Her parents were overjoyed. "Our daughter is doing so well," they would say proudly. But inside, Adaeze was changing. She stopped attending classes regularly. Her grades dropped. She became secretive, distant, and restless. Worst of all, her health began to fail. It started with constant tiredness. Then came strange symptoms she could not ignore. Fear gripped her heart, but she avoided facing the truth. Until one day, she collapsed. At the hospital, after several tests, the doctor looked at her seriously. "You have contracted a serious illness," he said. "It will require long-term treatment and care." Adaeze felt her world crumble. Tears streamed down her face. All the money, the luxury, the false happiness, it meant nothing now. She thought of her parents. She thought of Chioma. Shame filled her heart. They returned home. Adaeze could not hide it anymore. She returned to Nsukka, weak and broken. When her mother saw her, she screamed, "Adaeze, what happened to you?" Her father stood still, unable to speak. Chioma ran forward and held her sister tightly. "You're home, that's what matters." That night, Adaeze gathered the courage to speak. Through tears, she told them everything: the friends, the lifestyle, the choices, and the illness. "I am sorry," she cried. I have brought shame to this family. Mr. Okeke closed his eyes in pain. Mrs. Okeke wept quietly, but Chioma held Adeze's hand firmly. You made mistakes, yes. But you are still our sister. We will face this together. Her parents, though heartbroken, chose forgiveness over anger. You are our daughter, her father said softly. We will not abandon you. Chioma's rise. While Adeze had been away, Chioma had quietly built her own path. She apprenticed under a skilled fashion designer in town. She worked tirelessly, learning, practicing, improving. People began to notice her talent. After years of dedication, she opened a small shop. At first, customers were few. But her designs were unique, her work was neat, and her attitude was humble. Slowly, her name spread. From one shop, she expanded to two. From a small business, she built a brand. Soon, Chioma became one of the most sought-after young designers in the region. Money began to flow, not suddenly, but steadily and honestly. She took care of her parents, paid Adeze's medical bills, and even employed other young girls to teach them skills. Redemption and hope. Adeze's journey became one of reflection and change. Though she battled her illness, she also began to speak to young girls in the community, sharing her story. I thought I was living a better life, she would say. But I was destroying myself. Her story became a warning and a lesson. Chioma, standing beside her sister, would add, there is dignity in hard work. It may be slow, but it is safe and lasting. The two paths. In the end, the Okeke family became a symbol of two paths. One built on shortcuts, pressure, and risky choices. The other built on patience, skill, and integrity. Adeze's story was one of pain, but also of truth and redemption. Chioma's story was one of quiet strength and eventual success. And together, they reminded everyone in Nsukka and beyond. Not all that glitters is gold, and sometimes, the slower path leads to the greatest reward.